Hi everyone, welcome back. I hope you watched the last video, in fact the last three videos I believe, where we started this journey of doing image retrieval. We started off by doing a very basic like VGG16 followed by cosine distance matching. That works great if you have less than 1000 images, approximately, let's say around thousands of images. And once you go into 10,000s and billions of images, then that doesn't scale very well because that's brute force matching. That's why in the last tutorial, we talked about using vision transformers for feature extraction, not because it's faster, but because it gives you rich set of features. If you have lots of images, that's very important. And more importantly, followed by indexing using FAISS and searching basically the space, the index space within the FAISS. And I talked in detail about how there are a couple of different approaches within FAISS and how one of those two approaches actually gives you a better, more efficient way of searching, although it takes a little time for indexing. Again, watch the last video. That's why I recommend you to subscribe to this channel. If you haven't done that, pause the video, subscribe it right now, because I know you'll find videos that are educational. And while you're there, while subscribing, try to find the little thanks button that, if you're generous, go ahead and click that button. Okay, now getting back to the goal for today is basically I took the code from last week, where we have the vision transformer followed by FAISS. It works great from the command line, right? Now I put a GUI on top of it in case if you want to use this for your specific application. So for those of you who are not coders, you can just install this and go ahead and use it, both indexing for indexing and of course and searching. Others, this is a great product or application that you can take and you can build on top of it if you have coding skills. Okay, let me go ahead and demonstrate how to install and how to use it right away. So to install, you just go to two ways. I mean, in fact, I recommend just doing the pip installation, which is the easiest way. But if you want to copy the code and do your own stuff, it's on GitHub. The license file is right here if you want to look at the licensing. But yeah, this is on GitHub, and as you can see, pip installation is the easiest way. And in fact, you'll find this even on PyPy. Of course, go ahead and search for image retrieval. Hopefully you'll find mine because this is one of the recent ones. In fact, I released this like a few days ago, as you can see, a couple of weeks ago, November 25th. Okay. So with this information, so how do you install it? Go ahead and copy and you just paste it right here. Of course, you create your environment, which is very important, right? For every project, try to create a new environment so other stuff doesn't get broken when you install new things. And I'm using the latest NumPy and everything latest here, I believe like 2.0 or greater. So you don't want your older pandas and other stuff breaking because you install this. So create a new environment. I called it image retrieval, and I'm using Anaconda, and go ahead and just do pip installation. I literally just did that, so I don't have to go through that process. So it installs like your FAISS CPU. That's what I'm installing right here, and all the other libraries that are required. So once it's installed, the way you work is, let's minimize distraction there. All you need to do is type ViT or vision in image retrieval. If you want to type the whole thing, I just shortcut is ViT and hit enter. It should open up a GUI that you saw in the initial screen. Now, while it's doing that, again, it's slow because I'm doing a million things here, but I want to show you a couple of things down here, which is the type of images we have. Let's minimize other distractions and let's just focus on this for now. So I have all images which we used in the last tutorial, where you have a bunch of like 13 images that I downloaded from Google search, and 3 images that kind of match at least one images in those. So we'll use this. But more importantly, I have this 3D data set where I have like 50 images. They all look the same, the first one, the second one, the third one. You can't tell the difference visually, and also even computationally, it's a bit challenging. But between the first image, keep an eye on this one, and the last image, you'll see some difference, right? So this is like human evolution. You can't tell the difference between one evolution step to the next that easily, but then eventually you see that, hey, or growing up, a baby, you can't tell between 2 days, hey, you grew up, but then after 10 years, you look like a different person, right? So that's what's going on. And I took one image, like I believe like 45, for example, between 44 and 46. So I took 3 such images out of this data set and I placed those in my query. Let's delete this because I was testing in my query image right here. And if I query 45, the question is, does it give me a response of 44 and 46 as the closest matches? We'll see what we get, but that's the goal right there. And now that we have our program, and maybe I'll add a couple of additional functionalities of adjusting the font size, because this is a bit too small for my taste, because it's a big screen with my glasses. It's fine, but anyway, let's not go into that path. All I'm trying to say is this program may be slightly enhanced the next time you get to use this. So keep an eye on the updates of this. So step number 1, we have to select an image directory to query it. And let's start by all images here. So let's just select that. And I'm going to add an extension of all images here. So I know that, hey, this is when I look at the file name of the database or the index file, I know exactly which one I'm talking about. So it stores with this extension, which is optional, and also the time at which you are actually indexing. So let's do that. And also let's index on all the slices there. And let's go ahead and do this. And I'm going to change this to slices. So we can distinguish, of course, the time also helps, because if I open this, you can see how this is, these are the ones that we indexed for all images, and the next 2 are going to be saved right next to it. It's with the date and time and all that kind of stuff. Okay, so indexing is slow on my CPU, especially when I'm recording and doing a million things. It is slow even on GPU, right? It's the slowest component of the entire process. So do this on GPUs. If you're putting this to production, that's obviously what you need to do. Okay, so we indexed on 2 of these. Now, if I go to image retrieval, you see it already selected the first one. If I click on load index, it should actually load the latest one that you actually trained it on or indexed, which is the 47 images. Or you can just go back to load specific index, and let's go ahead and pick the one all images where we can do the tiger and other stuff. So that's the index file, and also all images, that's a JSON metadata file. You need both. So I just loaded both, and that's what it's showing up here. Now let's go ahead and select the query image, and let's use our regular tiger image as the query image. And let's go ahead and click the search button. And you see right away, it shows you, this is the index image, or sorry, query image, and number of results to show is 5. And you see how it's saying, hey, the similarity is 94.5%. The similarity is 93.6%, and that's the distance value. If you go down to zebra, the similarity is 56%. It dramatically drops right away, and monkey, it also drops further. So you know that, hey, these 2. And you can double click to open the directory. Like when I double click, it opens the image. In my case, the default image program is, it's on my different screen. Let's go ahead and bring it. The default one is Windows Viewer. So whatever you're using this on, they should ideally work on Mac and Linux. If not, let me know. And right click, open the image, or open the containing folder. So these are the actions that I have as of now. So it can open the image in the Windows, or it can open the folder that contains these images. Okay, now this is the simple case. Well, in my view, that's a simple case. And load specific index. Let's go back and load the slices. Load the slices metadata. And now let's select the query image to be which one? Let's actually do something in the middle, like 25. I have 50 slices. The last ones look different. The first one looks different. The middle ones are kind of in a transition phase, right? So let's go ahead and search. So this is image number 25. The matches, it matches the best with 27 for whatever reason, and then 26. And the next ones are 24. The next ones are 20, 21. So these are all the ones in the neighborhood. So you know that, okay, these are matching very well, right? So look at the scores, 97, 96.5, and so on. In fact, let's do one more and then let's stop. Let's do the last one, 45, and let's go ahead and search the top 10. And here you see image number 1 is 46, the other one is 44. So this image is 45, right? So right in the middle. So you see 46 and 44. This makes sense. And then the next ones are 48 and 47. So these are all the ones in the neighborhood. So this gives you an idea of how powerful this FAISS approach is. And of course, with ViT features, you can build real useful applications like this. So now all you need to do is connect this to, I mean, basically nothing. This is an application. So now go ahead and index all the images wherever you have, you know, and start searching for those, you know, querying your image against that specific database. And then now you can right click. So the code needs to be slightly modified because right now we are giving a single source for index. Maybe that's probably the next incarnation probably. Hey, go ahead and select multiple sources for your images or a super directory. I think right now it walks through all the subdirectories, but I'll think of ways to further enhance it. But hopefully you guys will find this to be useful. Otherwise, no point in me putting more time in developing this further. So thank you very much for watching this video, and please spread the word about this so others download and give me feedback about how this is useful so I can evolve this into something even more useful for you guys. Thank you.